Today we're going to show you how to change the bias thermistor on your dryer. It's a pretty easy job. All we're going to need is a putty knife, a 5/16 nut driver, a small flatblade screwdriver, and a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 5/16 socket. Let me show you how it's done. The first step to this repair will be to disconnect the power supply to the appliance. If there's a plug on it, simply remove the plug from the socket. If it's hardwired, we'll need to disconnect the breaker. Now the first step in this repair will be to lift the main top, which is held in place with 2 spring clips, one on each side of the door. The putty knife, I'll just slide that in, press the spring clip, hold the top up just temporarily. We can tilt the top back and lean it up against the wall. Next, we're going to remove the 2-wire harness for the door switch. Lift the edge of that connector so that the locking tab will slide out. And there are 2 5/16 screws that secure the top of the front panel to the cabinet. Remove those. We tilt the front panel forward, and we'll lift up gently on either side. We'll unhook it from the 2 catches that are located on the bottom side, and we can remove the front panel. Next step will be to remove the 2 wires to the moisture sensor. Then we're going to remove the 2 bottom screws for the bulkhead, both 5/16 hex head screws. And there are 2 screws at the bottom of the air inlet duct. And we'll loosen the 2 top ones. We have a keyhole slot on those top 2 screws, so we should be able to lift up on the bulkhead. And release it from those 2 screws. And there are drum rollers on the front of this model, so we'll have to disengage those from the drum. And just remove and set the front bulkhead aside. Now we have access to the component. Now in this model, the thermistor is located on the blower housing, just to the right side here. We'll remove the 2 wire terminals, and with the 5/16 socket and a small ratchet, remove the 2 screws that hold the thermistor to the blower housing. On some models, the blower housing will be mounted differently, and the thermistor will probably be held in place with 1/4 inch screws. The same disassembly procedure. Simply remove the old thermistor and discard it. Take our new thermistor, set it in place. Reconnect the wires. And now we're ready to reinstall the bulkhead. Now to reinstall the bulkhead, we want to make sure that the lower lip, that air inlet, sits inside the base of the frame first. Next, we're going to want to lift up on the drum so that we can get the roller wheels in underneath. And then Next, lift the whole assembly up. We can engage that keyhole slot at the top corners. Now, make sure that the felt is not folded over anywhere. And that the drum rollers are sitting where they should be. And we'll reinstall the other 2 screws on the front of the bulkhead. Tighten the top 2 and install the 2 on the air inlet. And as this model has a moisture sensor, we'll reconnect the 2 wires to that. And now we're ready to put the front panel on. Now to reinstall the front panel, we want to make sure that these 2 rectangular holes line up with the 2 catches on the front. Make sure they engage fully. Next, we will replace 2 screws that hold the front panel to the cabinet. And remember to reconnect the door switch harness. Make sure the locking tab holds it in place. We're ready to put the main top down. We'll make sure that these 2 spring clips engage the 2 hooks at the top of the front panel. Open the door slightly. And our repair is complete.